Hi everyone, I go by the name of Noble B, and this is my channel. If you're a new subby, hello there, welcome to the channel. I hope that you do indeed enjoy it here, so that you stay forever. And if you are an OG subscriber, sharp fede who's it, I trust and believe I know that you've had a brilliant start to the year, and yeah, thank you so much for subscribing. So in today's video, I am going to be doing a life update, how my 2022 was. Yeah, I feel like it's only fitting, before I start being cute and consistent, that we start before we can go forward. But yeah, so I'm going to be telling you guys about that, and also like the things that I'd like to change in this year, the things that I'm working on changing. It's not really things, like one thing mainly. But yeah, if that sounds like something you're keen on watching, kindly do stay tuned. Watch while you edit, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into the video, honey. So I'm gonna start off at the very beginning of 2022. If you guys don't know, I went into 2022 as a new wife, but not only that, as a new mom as well. So yeah, oh my goodness, I just moved the table. But yeah, so the cows came back home well fed, and I also went into the new year as a new mommy, which was brilliant. Like, if you ask my friends, growing up, I'd always say like I'm gonna be, a mom of 3 boys. Always said housewife, which I'm quite sure, but sure, we're well on our way to, achieving those goals of mine. And might I say, like, it's been such a beautiful experience. I am literally partnered, married to the best person in the world. Like, I feel like the support, the genuine care, the love, unconditional, like, it's just more than I've ever thought. I don't even think I thought of it before. And then motherhood as well, like, I'm gonna do a separate video on that. Love of my life, I couldn't be happy. I don't know, some people are like, I don't know what my purpose was, TBQH. I don't think I knew, for real, because this is it. Like, this is my life, and I couldn't be more grateful and thankful to the Lord my God, like, for just blessing me abundantly, like dilodi chinchi, guys, in a good way. But yeah, when you go into certain stages of your life, they do come with challenges. More especially, I think the biggest the biggest jump I had to do was the one of like motherhood, and just the changes that come with it. There are many good changes, but there are some changes which are challenging as well. So we're gonna jump straight into how I was physically, mentally, and emotionally. We'll start off with that. So physically, obviously, I just had a C-section, and physically I'm not the same. Like, I didn't have any pains at all whatsoever, but you have to take care of yourself. You have to walk lightly, like you don't want to hurt yourself or cause pain. I did have obviously like an epidural, so I'm having back pains. Yeah, like my body is not the same. So physically, like, I was not capable of doing things by myself or how I wanted to, which then went into like my mental state. It affected me mentally in the sense that, like, you're sharp, or I can't do certain things on my own. I'm sort of like at a very dependent stage of my life, which is not something I would say I'm used to. Like, I feel like, more especially in varsity, I made sure that, oh, okay, fine, I'm getting allowance from home, but I'm also pushing P, on the side. Like, I'm doing promos just so that I can do things for myself, because I hate asking, be it my mom, anyone. Like, I will not ask. So mentally, that was just like you know, it wasn't nice. Like I can't do things for myself. Financially, I'm like dependent on other people, even though they were there for me. Like I don't regret it one bit, and I love them loads for it. And I know that even now, like, you know, they can or they will still be there for me. But another thing is also mentally, you know, you're in the crib the whole time, even though like I'm a person who loves being in the house. I don't leave my house like at all. But I think that's just a different type of like in the house, you know, because you're all alone with the baby most of the day. That was, you know, another thing. I'm constantly in the house alone. The only person that I'm ever speaking to is my son, and it's usually like in my, you know, high pitched voice. If you guys know it, you know it. Not really having a lot of like adult interaction, which sort of like, to be quite honest, like I felt like, it sounds bad, but I felt dumb at a point. Like I don't know, like I couldn't even construct sentences together. I was very forgetful. I felt like sort of, I don't know what I'm doing in Piloyam, you know, like it's kind of stagnant, you know, because I have a baby. But in the same breath, like truly grateful that I was afforded the opportunity to be like, you know what, I'm not going to do anything but focus on my baby and focus on giving birth to my baby, you know, and taking care of my baby. I think I was at home for how long, like 5 months, 6, 7, 8, I'm not even sure how many months, without doing anything. And even during my pregnancy, like after I graduated, I wasn't doing anything. So truly grateful for that. However, it does come with its own challenges, you know, like I'm saying, you're in the house, bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored. But also you're just looking at yourself and you're like, oh, mentally, you know, I'm not the same anymore. You kind of feel like you don't relate to certain things, to certain people, you know. But I think it's a stage, man. Those baby blues that you get, or whatever they call them. So the mental part then obviously affected me like emotionally, and I was like really, really emotional, like to a point where, like, obviously I wasn't diagnosed or anything, but I think postpartum depression was knocking on the window. It was saying, hey, you know. And like, no, seriously, like it was really bad. I remember, like, you know, just feeling very, very weird. And it's like you're in that state and you just can't like get out of it. Like, you know, it's gonna get better, or you know, like you're feeling this way temporarily, but it kind of seems like it's gonna last forever. Or you like, for me, it stemmed mostly from like I felt like I wasn't doing like more. Like I always feel like I'm capable of doing more, you know, like even at my work, like I always want to do more. So that's where it stemmed from. It affected me emotionally to a point where like my mom was like, sweetie, you know, yes, you think you're the bomb.com, you can do it all, but we need to get you help, okay? That's when we got a nanny. But I wasn't for nannies, but we got a nanny just because it's the nanny who took care of my little brother, you know, and me. But I was like a bit old enough to sort of like be more independent, but she helped raise my little brother from like when he was an infant. So she came along and I was able to, you know, get a job. This is around May, like a very simple job, you know, for a couple of hours a day. You know, I was in my car, and that was great, you know. Got to dress up a bit, you know, which was like another thing that I feel like really affected me. And I didn't say actually, like, so it was like the financial thing, not being independent. And another big thing was the fact that I was not taking care of myself. Like even now I'm not like 100%, but when I tell you like my happiness stems from like from self-care, like looking good, feeling good, taking care of myself, like doing small things like nails, hair, taking a pic, doing my makeup. Those things help me keep going, like for some odd reason. I don't know if it's from like seeing my mom or what the case is, but like I truly, truly neglected that. Like, and you know, my husband, my mom, go get your hair done, go do this. And I was like, guys, you know what? Nah, I'd rather be with my kid. Like, I don't know, I had like separation anxiety till this day, to be quite honest. But anyways, I digress, child. So cool, I get the job. That's around in May. First job. first job, get the job, and I'm working. Cool. Then another role comes along at the church, but the same building. So now I'm working 2 jobs, and these are all God's blessings. Like, this is when things started, changing, and now I'm making a little bit more money. You understand? Like, now you can't talk to me because I can just wake up and be like, bro, like, where we about to eat at, like, without having to ask, or like, and it's not like people minded, guys. Like, I'm the problem. I'm really the problem. So yeah, I quit my second job at the church, and I feel like, that's when I started seeing just how like selfless people can be, and like how like I feel like true Christianity is, or true Christianity should be. But that's a whole conversation for another day. Like, but they truly helped me out immensely. I got like a office. Shandy's my little own office. I had got to run sort of little tasks here and there, which was very fun because I do like keeping busy. And then in July I got a third job. So going from like 0 jobs to 3 jobs in about how many months? Like a couple of months. Like, it was very, very insane. So yeah, this was very hard. So the third job was the work that I'm currently doing right now. Or I want to say, like, it's with the same company that I'm working for. Yes, that's what I want to say. Got that role. So I was working 3 jobs at a point in my life, and it was the most difficult thing I've ever had to do, because I didn't sleep. The last job that I got is remote, and it's for like a USA based company. So obviously, like, the hours are a bit odd, and it's like, baby, what are you doing? But it all worked out in the end, because I feel like God was doing that, or he placed me in those positions because he knew what was about to happen in August. We got the opportunity to move here, which is really big, very massive. We're, in the city of lights, my doll, where dreams come to die, or they come true, So we moved here in August, and now it all works out, because now I've got, the third job that I'm doing. And this third job obviously doesn't like make up for those other 2 jobs, but there's space to grow because it is a startup company. So you get a job. And yeah, we moved here, worked the role, and I feel like, I don't know, it all feels like a dream. Like, the move, more especially for me, was, felt like it happened very like this. Like, today, I'm sleeping, and I'm like, oh, okay, sleeping in Bloem, waking up in Bloem. Tomorrow they're like, oh, opportunity to move within a month. And that's exactly what happened. And that was just very, very awesome. So moved here to Joburg, and like, so my son had to stay behind, which was terrible, like, for a month. Very, very terrible. And I hated it. Like, he needed to come here, and he has to stay there, so and so reasons. If you get like a job, you need to go. And I'm like, Sudis, I push presence in my son's life. I do not care, because that's how my mom raised me. Like, when we moved with her. When we went there, we went with her. But I think, in May, that's when things started changing. And by virtue of me being a bit busy, I was sort of like in a funk, because, Sudi, I'm not doing anything. And obviously, like, Washe, you looking, like, what my peers are doing. Not to say I'm comparing myself, but I would like better for myself. So, like, little by little, things kept on changing. And then, like, no matter how little the opportunity seemed, I always knew, like, if you get into a space, you are able to sort of network. You're sort of able to have people look at you like, hey, hi. And then you can, like, elevate. You can grow yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Then, so we're here now. We've been here in the City of Lights for about 6 months now, and it's been going good. One thing about me, I will secure a job, and that's what I did. So I got a promotion with the US based company, and like it's going really great. It's the role that I initially wanted. But yeah, like I feel like, you know, if you find yourself in like the position that I was, I feel like I should do another video where I go in depth about like the feelings that you get, you know, motherhood, or, you know, it's like when you get a new job, guys, you get a new job and it's the dream job that you've always wanted, but when you step into it, it's not going to be easy. There's new things, new challenges that you're going to face, some things that you don't like about the initial role. You know, it's not going to be all roses and stuff. And I feel like it's the same with, you know, other things in life, you know, and it's okay. It's okay not to be okay sometimes. And I think me, that's just what I want to push on my channel. I don't want to push like, oh, kumnandi all the time, it's aesthetics all the time. No, baby, you have issues and it's okay to go through the seasons, because that is what life is made of. Like, just sometimes the seasons aren't gonna be nice, you know, they're gonna be a bit chilly, sometimes they're gonna be a bit warm, and that is okay. So yeah, moving on, like what I'd like to change for the next year, or for this year rather, 2023, is I would just like to work on focusing on myself. And that's what I feel like I didn't do in the last year. Was like I didn't focus on myself, you know. I was just basically pouring and pouring out until the cup was empty, and then it's like a lot of frustration and a lot of like, you start looking towards like yourself, like you look into yourself to be like, oh, what am I missing, what am I doing wrong, where it's like you're not necessarily pouring anything in or like making yourself happy. So that's basically the only thing I want to do. I want to focus on, you know, like my YouTube. I want to focus on doing really good at my job, you know, within the next 6 months. Like, where can I be, what can I be doing more, how can I be growing, you know. I want to start out some things in my life and like really follow through with them, really push through, you know, certain other things that I'm not going to mention. But I think more than anything, the theme is just to focus on myself, you know, focus on myself, go after my dreams. I'm 27 this year. 27? Yeah, you heard me right, 27. That is insane. So I feel like it's time, you know, to do what Zoe said, is to cement yourself and really take up space. And that's exactly what I'm going to do this year. Tired of, you know, making excuses, even though really sometimes it's not an excuse. Get needy, like, I don't have time, sweetie. But it's like this, you make time. Am I going to be tired tomorrow morning? Yes. But it's all to make a dream come true, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the update for me, and sort of like what I'm gonna be doing this year differently. Like I said, I'm not doing like 1,000,001 resolutions. Honestly, I'm just gonna focus on me, so that I'm able to pour out and really like improve, you know. If I'm improving how I am in my marriage, if I'm improving me as a mom, if I'm improving my relationships with my friends, if I'm improving like my work ethic, just stuff like that. I feel like if I'm able to sort of like do the things that I love, they'll keep me energized and yearning to do more. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's my story for today. I just thought it would make sense to do, you know, a little background into like how 2022 went and what I'd sort of love to do differently this year. So yeah, that's it for me. If you guys enjoyed that, kindly do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video, guys.